Guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to post data from mobile app to our server. Last time's tutorial was how to get data from the server to the mobile app. So we are going to create user. After we create user, we are going to get a list of users that have been created using a different app that we created in the previous tutorial. So when I create a user, let's see, username, LearnTech. First name I'll say Learn, last name Tech, and email I'll say learntech@gmail.com. Then I say register user. User saved successfully. If I go to a previous application, I should see a list of users, including the one I've just created, that is LearnTech. So I have created an API here. I'll leave the link in the description. You can also go to the browser, execute. You'll see we have two users. Let's see. We have LearnTech and we have Richard. We have our post here that we are going to utilize. And for us to post data, we are going to post username, first name, last name, email, and even date joined. So let's get started. I'll start by adding Retrofit. So for Retrofit dependency, I'm going to go to their website, and then I'm going to paste the Gradle dependency here. The latest version is 8.281 is that now. I'm also going to add converter library. I'm going to use JSON. The current version also is 2.8.1 is that now. And I'm also going to add HttpLoggingInterceptor so that I can be able to log the request header and the request body. Let's sync our project. I'm going to create ApiClient. Within the ApiClient, I'm going to have a private class, a private method that is going to return Retrofit. Retrofit is equal to new Retrofit .build. I'm going to return Retrofit. So I'm going to add converter library, that is JSON converter factory.create. I'm also going to add a base URL. According to our API, our base URL is api.learntech.net. And I want to add our client. So I'm going to have HttpLoggingInterceptor. HttpLoggingInterceptor is equal to new HttpLoggingInterceptor. HttpLoggingInterceptor.setLabel. And I'm going to log the body of the request. So okay, HTTP client, new okay, HTTP client.builder.add interceptor. I'm going to add our HTTP logging interceptor and I'm going to build. I'm going to add client. I'm also going to create a user service, which is an interface. Within the user service, that's where I'm going to do my calls. As you can see from the Retrofit documentation, you can do different call at get. You can do at post. For us, we are going to work with post today. So I'm going to have Let me create a user request and a user response. So for user request, for last post a user data, we require the following. Private string, we require the username, we require the first name, last name, email, and date joined. For now, I'm going to keep the date joined as default. And then I'm going to generate getters and setters. Our user response. When I create a user, I'm getting the following response. So I'm going to have private int ID, private string, username, first name, last name, email. We can work with that for now. Then I'm going to generate getters and setters. And so back to our user service, I'm going to do a post. So whereby I'm going to save users. And the body that I'm going to pass is user request. So I'm going to have my call that is going to respond with user response, and the method should be save users. I'm going to save user as I'm only saving one user. So this is a post, and the relative URL is users. So back to my API client, I'm going to have a public static user service. I'm going to get user service. So user service is equal to get retrofit dot create user service dot class. So I'm going to return user service. Then I'm going to my activity, whereby I'm going to have, let me create my activity, the background color. I'm going to have color primary. I'm going to have app bar, match parent, lab content. I'm using constraints, so I'll say top of parent. Then I'm going to have my toolbar, match parent, action bar size. Then within it, I'll have a text view, lab content, and the text would be user registration. I'm going to have a color white, and I'm going to have it centered. I'm going to have it as start of parent, and end of parent. So I'm also going to do something here. I'll have compile options, whereby I'm going to have Source compatibility, Java version. I'm going to have version 1.8, and then I'm going to have target compatibility. I'm also going to have Java version 1.8. Let me sync and see. Then I'm going to learn my project. As it is installing, I will continue. So I'll have a linear. Linear layout, which is going to match parent lab content. Then I'm going to have orientation vertical. So as you can see, we have user registration, but we don't have any field here. So I'm going to have this one, and let me give this ID, app bar. So this should be top bottom of app bar. And should be start of parent, and end of parent. Let me give this on 0 because bottom I'm going to align to the parent, and the color should be white. Let's learn our project and see what we got. Installing. Okay, now let's proceed and add EditText. So we have should match parent, should lab content, and hint should be username. And then style should be material. Should be outline. Let me have material. Text input, I need this one. Should be here. Yes, I need this one. Inside, I'm going to have EditText, match parent, lab content, and the ID. I'm going to give it username. I'm going to have this one, top margin 10. Let's learn and see what we have. Installing APK. Yes, we have our username. So the second one should be first name. This should be last name. And this one should be email. Then we need a button here. ID, I'm going to say button log, button sign up, button register. The text, I'm going to say user registration. Top, I'm going to say 10. So let's learn and see whether everything we need to post is there. So it's storing. Yes, we have our username, we have our first name, last name, and user email. So user registration. Let me give this one a padding of 10. So I'll go to my main activity, have edit text, layout. So I'm going to have username, F name, L name, and email. I'm also going to have a button, let's use. So our username, I'm going to find it. Find view by ID, al.id.username. We have first name, we have last name, and we have email. And we have button register user. The ID for the button is button register. So let's user dot set on click listener name view on click listener. So when you click this button is when we are going to post data to the user. So let me create a post request, public user request, create request. So user request is equal to new user request. So user request dot set username dot get text dot string. So we have username, we have set email where we have email, we have set last name, and finally we have set first name. Then I'm going to return user request. So I'm going to create a retrofit post method. So I'll have public void save user. I'm going to have call that is going to respond with user response. User response call is equals to ApiClient dot get user service dot save user. In this method, I'm going to pass user request. Let me import this. So I'm going to queue my request and listen to the callback. So within the callback, we have on response and on failure. So if response dot is successful, I'm going to do a toast dot make text main activity dot this. I'm going to say the message saved successfully. Toast dot length long dot show. If the request is not successful, I'm going to say request failed. Then you have on fairy, whereby we are going to say request field, and we have t.get localized message so that we can know what has exactly failed. So when you click the button, I'm going to save user, and then I'm going to pass our request, user request. So that's all. Let's learn our app and see what we have. So I'm going to have the username as user test, first name user, last name test, and I'm going to have user test at gmail.com. Remember to add permission before you post. We have user, we have internet permission. So what is remaining is a post. Let's see. So as you can see, saved successfully. So we have posted this data and we gotten the response of 201. And this is our response. So we're going to see if exactly this user is a test was registered. So I'm going to go back to our previous app, fetch all users. Yes, we have our user test. So thank you guys for watching. The next tutorial will cover how we can do login register, whereby we can register a user and log in that user. So if you're not subscribed, remember to subscribe for more tutorials.